is Deanna here today, and today I have something fun for you. Today you are actually getting a behind the scenes look at my sewing room. I get asked a lot about my sewing room, so I wanted to give you a behind the scenes. So let me show you around. We're going to start by just going around the whole room so you can kind of see perspective from every angle. It's actually not that big of a room, so it feels like it's bigger when you're watching me, but as I'm recording this, I am stepping back and forth around the whole room, and we're right back around. All right, so that door right there is my main door to my house. Then we've got the closet. You may or may not see the closet. It's a mess. We've got some fabric, a fabric box I have not opened yet. My printer, we've got a storage shelf. It's got mostly papers from my husband. I don't know why it's sitting there. I decided to set the camera still so that way you wouldn't be like the whole time. I have 2 ironing boards, and I've gotten questions about my ironing boards. They really are just cheap ironing boards from a regular store. I think Walmart is where I got them from. I'm not really sure. With that one that I use for sewing tutorials, it's covered with white cloth, and literally it's just cover and pinned under. So you all can see a better view of what it's like. But this is the one that I regularly use because it's a little bit sturdier. But I also have this little baby right here. It's a small board I got from Amazon, and it just sits right on my sewing space. It's got this little legs on it so I can prop it up and sit it on my cutting table if I just have something small to iron and I don't want to bring out my whole sewing thing. And then they just sit behind this little shelf area. This is my printer, which has got a ton of things printed on top of it and some cute little raglans that I made for my nieces. This is an HP DeskJet 2547. It's a very old printer. I've had this printer for years. It was a very cheap printer I got a very long time ago, even before I started sewing, and it works just great, so why change it if it works? I do want to set up a projector, but I haven't yet, so I'm still printing the old-fashioned way right at home. This is my ring light. When I'm doing videos and stuff like that, sometimes I use that light. This is my decor, so you know, I don't have much of anything there. All right, I told you all I wasn't gonna show you my closet, but I kind of have changed my mind because there's something I want to show you. It's a mess. All right, so I hang up, this is my other sewing, cutting, ironing board that I use for tutorials, and I've got some, this is my jacket that I made. Anyway, I've got a bunch of my sews in here, my Ellie and Mac sews, and then I have bags and bags of scraps and yarn and other things like that that I just shove in my closet for no one to see. You don't get to see all this fun little behind the scenes stuff very often, but I do have a mess, just like everybody else. I just move it aside so you can't see it when I'm making the videos. Also, what I wanted to show you is this right here. This is one of my favorite things. This is how I store my patterns. I get a lot of questions about how I store my pattern, and here it is. This is how I do it. I have these bins that I got from a grocery store, actually, and I use vinyl cutouts and cut out the names for what they are. I have a dresses, I have a tops, I have a kids, and I have an others that's got like swimsuits, rompers, pants, stuff like that. And then I also have one that's just for patterns that I'm working on right now. So there's one sitting over there, I'll show you later, and it's got all the patterns that I'm working on or that I work very often with. So like the oversized tees there because I make that all the time. The not so basic pants, some of them are just sitting over there because I know I'm gonna make them soon, so I'm just gonna leave them out. So I put them in these bins right here, and what I do is after I cut out my pattern, I use these yellow envelopes and I write the name on them. Sometimes what people do, and I don't do this because I'm not organized enough, you can print the picture, the cover of the actual pattern and tape it right in front of here, and that would help you to be able to find it easier. But I just write the names. I remember all the names, so I'm good with that. And then I just insert my pattern in here, fold it and put it in there, and there it is. And then I shove it right back in the top of my closet. It's a nice way for it to get organized and put away, and it's a little bit separate, so I don't have to go hunting everywhere for the pattern because they're in their regular spot where they're supposed to be. Yes. Lots going on in there. I have to push real tight to close. All right, here are my fabrics. I've got this shelf right here, which has got mostly wovens, not very many wovens. Some are still in the closet. I've got some knits in here, some knits in here, which are a little bit of a mess. I've got lots of knits here. I try to keep my solids together, but sometimes I just shove stuff in there. And then I've got another shelf over here, which has got my different prints. While I'm showing you my fabric shelves, I wanted to tell you I fold these fabrics a certain way. There is actually a video tutorial on here on our channel, and I'll try to tag it. It makes folding so much easier, and it makes it easier for you to be able to see all the different fabrics that you have being displayed. Now this one I just kind of shoved in there. It needs to be folded, but you know what? It doesn't always get done. Alright, since we're friends and you really want to see it, I'm going to show you a quick demonstration on how do I fold this, because I should fold this one anyway. I've got this ruler which is cracked. Half my things are just things that I inherited or that I got from someone else. Basically the same concept. So some of them are cracked, some of them are really old. You know what? You do what you gotta do. And it really doesn't matter, but I think if it wasn't cracked, it would be about 26 inches wide, 20 anyway, and then like 6.5 inches this way. So what I do is I grab my fabric and I fold it in half. So I fold it along, yeah, just like that. So the grain line is going this way. So you've got it set up just exactly how you want it. Now, sometimes depending on how much fabric I have, I'll set it up differently. If it's like pieces of fabric, you just have to set it up the best way. And there's more details on that video I told you about. Then I just fold it up a little bit, and then I just keep using the ruler to keep folding it up. And as you can tell, there was a lot of pieces of thread on my cutting area, and now it's all over my fabric. Yay! That's all right. And then at the end, I just kind of fold it in, pull that ruler out, and I'm going to show you just how awesome this ends up, if I can find it. This fabric is glorious. This is a chenille from Olga's Closet. I love it. All right, and there it is. There you got it. Some nicely folded fabric. It's gonna get shoved in there, and then you just kind of stack them all on top of each other. All right, so here is my sewing area. This is where I do my sewing. As you can see, there's water cups everywhere because I'm always drinking water. So this is actually a sewing table, and this does open up, but my machine doesn't fit in there, and I don't have a lot of space to put it all in here, so I just leave it closed most of the time. Here's where I keep a lot of my little things, like tape, if I need it, like fabric tape, buttons, thread, a lot of junk like that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you too, and this kind of goes up back and forth, but it's pretty neat actually. And then my cover stitch, I'll show you that later on so you can see it right now. Let's start talking about my machines. I just sewed something with this one, and there's a lot of fuzz on it, so it's not that I never clean it, it's that I really never clean it. Anyway, this is my serger. I have 2 sergers, and I'll show you my other one in a minute. I have this Brother 1034D. This is a entry-level serger. There is a video on our channel more about that serger, and actually about the other serger as well. So if you want to check that out and know how to thread it and other information on it, you can go check that out. This is my backup serger, and then I upgraded it to a Baby Lock Victory that I have over there sitting away, because when I got it serviced, they tightened the bolt for the needle really tight, and now I cannot change the needle, and I broke it, and so it's been sitting there waiting for me to take it back for them to undo it for me, because I don't want to break it. But I haven't done it yet. So that's why I've been using this one lately. It works really great, but again, it's just an entry level. So like thicker fabrics, it has a harder time with and stuff like that. The other one is a beast, and it's air threading as well. So if you want to check that out, there's also a video for it on our channel. All right, next is my sewing machine. This is a Baby Lock Jubilant. I am obsessed with this machine. This is a beast. It's more of a not so I don't know what the word is, but it's not the most expensive Baby Lock. It's a really good basic I guess that's the word, sewing machine, but it has everything you need. Literally with this sewing machine, I could do everything that the other machines do, and it sews very nicely. It sews very beautifully, very smooth. I don't really have issues with it eating my fabric or anything like that. It's great. I thoroughly recommend it. I also have this little trash bin back here. It literally is a box of Carnation instant breakfast that I just covered with some fabric and literally pinned it. Like, that's all. It's just pinned. Yeah, that's the type of person I am. Just go the easy way. I also have this little lamp right here, which is not plugged in, so you can't even see what it does. But if I ever sew at night, I like to have the lamp to give me extra light. I don't sew at night anymore as much as I used to, because I'm just really tired when it comes to bedtime. I want to sit in the bed and watch TV for a little while before I go to sleep. All right, next is my cover stitch. This is the machine that you see that I hem with. Again, information on this machine, this particular one, is on our YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. It's a cover stitch. It's a Pacesetter Brother cover stitch 2340 CV. It's an entry-level cover stitch, but I love it. It does the job, and I've had it for a few years and I have no complaints. This is actually a shoe rack. Like, you're supposed to put shoes in here, so like my legs don't even go in there. So it's kind of difficult what I do, but you know what? It's just fine. It works. Now we're turning the corner. I've got this mannequin that I like to call Elle, and I dress her up with different sews that I do. It's not like a block, so it doesn't have my measurements or anything like that. It's just for looks. Super cute. I also have thread holders. Again, kind of for look. These are thread holders for like embroidery thread or like the little ones. They don't hold much on there, but I thought they were cute, so obviously I got them. I also have a Cricut Explore Air 2, and I love to use this for cutting files on our website, for shirts, for appliques, for stuff like that. We do have videos on that if you want to check it out. Here is where my bucket of patterns that I like to use more often sit at, or that I'm testing, or that I'm working on currently. They just kind of sit right here, waiting their turn. And then I have my spools of thread. These are my serger threads. I get a lot of my serger from Wawak online, and I've got all kinds of stuff just kind of sitting here. I get this question a lot. I'll go ahead and mention it right now while I'm talking about thread. What color of thread do I usually use the most? So I've got this like taupe color thread that I use most on everything. So like colors like this would work great. Anything that's got print on, this would work great, so then I don't have to change my thread as often. And then I do white and black are the ones that I use the most. These right here, the different colors, some of them I got from people, like the red and the pinks I got, but I don't always change it to that color, so I don't use them as much. I use the black, the white, and the taupe the most. Alright, now we've made it to one of my favorite parts of my sewing room. This is my cutting table. This cutting table actually I inherited from my grandmother-in-law, who used to sew, and I got it, so I love it. This is actually a leaf right here, and if I push this leg sideways, this goes down all the way, and then it's got another one just, I'm pulling back open. It's got another leaf just like this on the other side. So if I get a bigger sewing room, or if I had it set up in a way that I could move it in the center of the sewing room, that other leaf would come back out and it'd be a longer table. I love it. I don't know where it came from. I've had it for years. She had it for years and years before I had it. So I don't really know where it's from. My cutting mat and magnets, I get questions about them non-stop. I love a magnetic cutting board, and being able to use magnets for it. Now, we don't advertise or refer anyone to this company where I got this from a few years ago, because we had issues with their customer service and we just don't feel like we can refer them. Though, Nye did a video on how to create your own cutting mat with magnetic cutting mat. So go check that out, and then you can maybe create your own. And it's just magnets that hold the fabric down. That's what there are. As you can see, I'm wearing slippers. Most of the time when I'm in here sewing, I have slippers on because my feet get cold really easily. So that's why I always have slippers. And my laptop, print most of my patterns to my computer. This is all my junk. This is where I store my cutting tools, and I keep like notes and stuff sometimes. Pins, clips, what are these called? Clips? Cloth pins? Anyway. And then glue. I love using clear washable glue. This is the purple stick. I have a ton in my drawers. I have drawers in here, and so I always have something to use to glue my patterns together. My clips basket. I am a clips girl all the way. I love clips. Since I started using them, I don't use anything other than clips. Now underneath the table you can see a bunch of junk. I've got some mats that I am going to reupholster. I've been saying I'm going to reupholster them. They've been sitting there forever, but that's something I'm hopefully going to work on at some point. I've got some my bin of interfacing and my bin of, I was going to take it out, but I feel like if I take it out everything's going to fall over. My bin of elastics. So all my elastics are sitting underneath there, and my interfacing, it's all sitting underneath there, so I can grab it whenever I need it. And that's it, I think. If you have any more questions about my sewing room, please post them below, and I'll try to answer any questions that you have. And that's it, right? I don't know what else to show you. This is my fan. You don't care about all that, but thank you for coming along, and thank you for supporting me and always being so kind and loving about all the sewing tutorials that are here on our YouTube channel. I really just do everything in this room. I record everything myself. I have a camera that's standing right there on the tripod. I move everything around as I'm sewing, and I just enjoy doing it. I am so grateful I get to do it, and I love that you all enjoy coming along with me for the ride. I am very self-taught with a lot of the things that I do. I've learned by testing all the Elliot Mac patterns, and by sewing all the Elliot Mac patterns, the wonderful instructions, and asking questions on the Facebook page when I had questions, and yeah, that's how I've grown. I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes little video, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can see all of our other sewing tutorials that are coming up, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!